Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about I changed this one simple thing and finally started manifesting. Now, a couple of years ago, there were two things that I really wanted to manifest. Okay, and I managed to manifest both of those things within about 3 weeks. And a lot of you who may have already been on this channel for a while will know what those things are, but I'm just going to reiterate them for those that may be new to the channel, and this may be the first video that you're watching of mine, okay? So the two things that I really wanted to manifest was back in March of 2023. And one of those things was a settlement that I really wanted to get sorted because I'd been wronged in some way and I just wanted that rectified, okay? And it was really important to me that was rectified, okay? And it manifested. And the other thing that I wanted to manifest was getting pregnant. And I did manage to get pregnant that month with my fourth IUI cycle. Okay. So those were the two things that I wanted to manifest. And I manifested both of those things in March 2023. So how did I do these then? Because one of the things that I truly believe helped me manifest this was the fact that I really wanted both of these things so intensely that I was willing to try absolutely anything and everything to manifest them, okay? So I was doing meditations, I was visualizing, I was pumping myself up with affirmations, I was doing really unique things as well. Like I'd always had this desire to draw a certain kind of picture, and I was drawing it. So basically the story behind the drawing is that I was focused so much on this dream I kept on having. And this dream was about, I was walking through the woods, and if I turned to the left, I knew that if I turned into the left and into the trees, I would find this ancient ruin. And so I had a desire to draw that ancient ruin that I would see in my dreams, and that I would always picture those dreams. That was like a recurring dream for me, this going into this forest and finding these ruins. And so I had to draw that picture. And funnily enough, the day that I drew that picture, I stopped having those dreams of going into there. So it's almost like it was calling me to do that. So that's just something else that I was doing around that time. Another thing is that I was doing, I was listening to lots and lots of positive music. And basically what this all came down to was this, okay? This was the one thing, okay, that changed. I'm going to write it down for you. It's very simple as well, because there are so many ways you can do this. I raised my vibration. That's it. That's all that I did. I did that in so many different ways, like through meditation, through visualizing, through listening to music. I was listening to a lot of Sia, like songs like Titanium and Greatest and Unstoppable. I was listening to those songs on repeat, basically. Pumping myself up. I'd walk around the room and go, yes, yes, and just imagine that I got the things that I wanted. But what it came down to was that I just simply raised my vibration. And what else? And because there was a lot of things that were happening, okay, during that time that kind of made me start to really believe as well that these things were going to manifest. Yeah, I had doubt, definitely. But I started having dreams. I had a dream around that time as well of, especially when it came to that settlement that I wanted sorted. I knew that the day my settlement was going to get sorted, there would be frost on the ground. And there would be a tree sort of growing to the side of the garden. And the way that I knew that was because I had a dream of that. I had just done a meditation by Aaron Doughty, which was his parallel reality meditation. And I'd fell asleep during it. And in that dream, I was looking out of the window and I could see frost on the ground and this little tree just starting to grow out of the ground. And what was crazy about that, and it kind of still gives me goosebumps, right? I'm getting goosebumps right now. When I woke up, I just knew that's what was going to happen. And so in the middle of March, a time when spring is starting to come and there's less frost in the UK, I woke up one morning and I looked out the window and there was frost on the ground. And I just knew. I knew that today was going to be the day that I was going to get a phone call to say that that settlement had been sorted. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. So you got to pay attention to your dreams as well. Because if something's in the forefront of your mind, if you really, really want something, you are probably going to dream about it. And your dream will give you clues as to when that's going to happen, when that's going to manifest. At least that's what happened to me. Now, the tree that I described in my dream didn't show up for another couple of weeks, okay? But something was starting to sort of grow there, but it didn't look like a tree. It was just sort of like leaves. When it did finally grow all the way, it actually wasn't a tree at all. It was something called chicory, and it's like this little plant. It's a big plant. It's like a stalk, basically, and it's got like these little purple bluey leaves on it, which I think is really cool because I think like the blue purple color like sort of represents higher self and enlightenment and things. And that was just really fun. I was just like, wow, that's crazy. It wasn't a tree, but still something long and big grew, the stalk. And I found it really, really fascinating that happened. Even though it wasn't the tree that I saw in my dream, it was still something that sort of resembled a tree almost. Okay. So there was a strong belief that things were going to work out, and they did. Now, when it came to manifesting my pregnancy, first of all, I talk about this a lot, and I just want to kind of make a disclaimer here. I went into fertility treatment without any fertility issues. So I had what was called an IUI, okay? But as a woman, I'm completely healthy. The only thing that prevents me from having children without using medical procedure like IUI is the fact that I'm a lesbian and I'm in the same-sex marriage. Okay, so that's my only fertility issue. Okay, my bloods were good because they did a lot of tests on me before I had the treatment. My thyroid was good. My vitamin D levels were good. I don't have any. Well, at that time, I didn't have any fertility issues. Okay, so I don't know if I have any now. Don't know. I haven't been checked for a long time. But I just want to have that as a disclaimer here because I know a lot of people struggle getting pregnant. But I want to let people know that I manifested these things. But yeah, it wasn't exactly like it was so improbable. Okay, I didn't have like major fertility issues. I was completely healthy. I had a good egg reserve. My hormones were balanced. Everything was perfect in my body. I just am a lesbian, so it's just difficult for me to get right. I need help to get pregnant. Basically, I need medical help. So, but of course, with IUI, it's still a gamble because IUI is less accurate than IVF. Because what they do is they basically just put the semen straight into my uterus rather than taking eggs out of me and putting them in a petri dish, which is basically the IVF method, right? So this method was less invasive. It was more natural, as natural can be when it comes to that happening. But it's still a gamble because when people are trying to get pregnant, it may take them a few months if they're in a heterosexual relationship. So there's still a chance that it's not going to happen. Okay, it's still a bit of a gamble. Okay, but I did manage to get pregnant, and the things that I was doing to help me get pregnant was I was visualizing. I could visualize very clearly, actually, the clear blue test. It was a specific test. It was a test with the flashing light at the end, and I could just easily visualize it in my bathroom. I could see like the sun shining through the window, and I could see the test on the side of the bathtub, and I could see my hands picking it up and then flipping it over for it to say pregnant. And I could very easily see that in my visualization. Okay, and again, I was meditating on it as well, and I was just picturing like being fertile. Like the color of fertility is apparently orange, so I was imagining myself just like surrounded in orange and seeing orange flowers everywhere. But again, this all came down to that one thing, which was raising my vibration. Because during this time, even though there was a lot of struggles, things like getting pregnant, things like when you've been wronged in some way and you want that settlement to be sorted, and you're waiting for that news, it can be a very stressful time, and you can have a very, very low vibration during those kinds of times because you're worried and you're concerned about different things. But if you simply raise your vibration by listening to positive music that really pumps you up, that really inspires you, I use the examples of Sia, the Sia's music, but that's what pumped me up. So what songs that may pump you up may be completely different, maybe like heavy metal or something else. It could be folk music, something something like that. It could be instrumentals. I also quite like instrumentals from movies, like anything by like Hans Zimmer and stuff like that. So you gotta find ways to raise your vibration and feel good more of the time. And yeah, you can use meditation, you can use visualization, you can use whatever technique that you like. It doesn't matter what I really truly believe it doesn't matter what kind of manifestation technique that you're using. As long as it's raising your vibration, as long as you feel better, as long as you feel uplifted and feel good, you'll be able to change the way that you're manifesting things, okay? You'll start manifesting the things that you want, okay? Especially if you want them really, really quickly. You have to raise your vibration and feel good. And the key word here, what I want to talk about here in these last few minutes with you is this. Genuinely feel good. Genuinely. Don't pretend that you feel good. If you don't feel good, find a way that you can genuinely try to feel better and raise your vibration. Don't just pump yourself up with affirmations if you've got no feeling behind it. Find ways that you can genuinely feel good, feel empowered, feel powerful. Because that was one of the keys. That was one of those things that those songs made me feel, like Titanium, The Greatest, Unstoppable. They made me feel powerful, okay? So it wasn't just feeling good, but it was also this feeling, yes, I was feeling good, but I had this sense of power, like I was in control, like I could manifest the things that I wanted, and I could make a dent in the universe and do things the way that I wanted them to be. And that's what I did. I became non-negotiable. I was gonna have those things. I believed, I felt great, I felt powerful, and I did, okay? So I hope this video was helpful to you on the things that you're trying to manifest and the things that you're trying to create. Have a blessed day, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.